Good morning, she says as she starts her kitchen timer. This morning is Thursday. It is the 25th of June, which means it is day 27 of the Cry Mercy virtual book tour, with just a few more days, including one live appearance. If you're in New England, come on Saturday to see me at the Borders Bookstore at Simsbury Commons in Simsbury, Connecticut. Simsbury is a beautiful little historic town. And I'm very, very honored to be on Bitten by Books, which is one of the really important review sites for paranormal fiction authors. So I'm very pleased to be here. And I have a question I'm going to answer for Jackie on Twitter. Said, if you had the chance to write your first book again, would you change something of it or of the story? Well, there's two ways to answer that. Would I write it again? No. That that was where I was at that time, and I wouldn't change a thing. If I wrote it again, if I was forced to write it again, knowing what I know now, would it be a different story? Very much so. My writing has changed a lot, over the years. I hope it's getting better. That's the whole idea. Now I've got some questions from Rachel at Bitten by Books, and I'm going to answer those today. And she says, what are the most challenging and the most rewarding aspects of writing? The most challenging for me is just doing it every day, doing it when I'm not in the mood, doing it when I need to do the laundry, doing it when it's a gorgeous day outside and I'd rather be kayaking. To remember that I have chosen to do this as a profession, and I need to get up and as Cherry Adair says, put on your earrings before you start writing so that you are going to work now. And the most rewarding is reaching over in the bookshelf and pulling this out, and it's a book and my name's on it. I can't tell you, I still kind of sniff my books and caress my covers. Don't tell anyone. How did you get started doing tarot readings? Well, I also write under the pen name Virginia Reed, and I wrote some books for Alora's Cave. And you may know that they have a line called Torrid Tarot. So it's been around for a while, and I'd been approached about that. So I was kind of interested in it for that. And I'm not sure if that started it, because that's about the time I decided that the Mercy series would have this element of gypsy stuff in it, as you know if you've read it. And I thought that gypsies read tarot, and I found out actually that they may today. And in fact, a gypsy character in Mercy does read tarot, but that the tarot cards were the tools of the wealthy people. If you think about it, you didn't have, mass market printing. So the only people who could afford to have these decks with, there's a lot of cards in a tarot deck, to have them commissioned were very wealthy people. The tarot was a diversion of of royalty, of very wealthy people. And gypsies actually used playing cards because they were more readily available to the common people. So gypsy tarot, true gypsy tarot, is not done with a tarot deck. It's done with a regular deck of cards, and it's very different, and I don't know how to do it. So one of those two things caused me to pick it up, and I think that I started really paying attention to it and trying to approach it seriously and truly learn how to do it, because I felt like enough people out there did take it seriously and understood it well enough that to just phone it in would not be authentic. And so I wanted to really learn it. I ultimately never did write for Torrid Tarot, but I'm really glad I picked up the tarot cards. They've brought a lot to my life. Do you consider your writing paranormal romance or urban fantasy, and do you think it is important to distinguish between the two? Well, paranormal romance is urban fantasy sometimes. There's crossover. What I write is urban fantasy. The Mercy books, the first book in the series, could technically be considered a romance. The second two most assuredly are not. The third book probably will be possible to consider it a romance. The way that the publisher and I are looking at the plot right now, it's going to be a romance. But this doesn't mean you serious urban fantasy readers who would, that you're not going to get cooties if you have to walk into the romance section of the bookstore to get the book. The romance cooties are not going to jump out and get you. I'll tell you what, I know more women than men have read the Mercy series, and I know a way higher percentage of the men have contacted me to tell me how much they like it. Men are always kind of surprised by the Mercy series because they see this woman on the cover and they think it's a girly book, and then they read it and they're like, wow, this was really good. Of course, then they want to talk about the sex scenes, which there aren't any in Crime Mercy, I'm sorry, but there's some in the other books. How did you come up with the press? I think it's because I was a Star Wars geek and I wanted to be able to do Jedi mind tricks. So I think, and I'd also read Stephen King Firestarter and thought about, the push thing that he does, which is kind of similar, but a lot less controlled and causes him physical harm and sometimes causes the people to whom he's doing it a weird kind of unanticipated harm, and I didn't want that. I think I was going more towards the Jedi mind trick thing. How much research do you do for your books? How much of it actually gets used in the finished book? One of the reasons I don't write historical is so that I don't have to do a lot of research, but I do a certain amount of research. Let's think of an example for Crime Mercy, the gang stuff. I went and talked to people who had formerly been in gangs. I looked at their tattoos. I listened to how they talked. I got a rough idea of their hierarchy, a little bit like that. When I've got somebody going to a place, unless the owners of the place or people that work at the place are important characters in the book, it's probably the real place. And I generally look into the place's history a little bit before I do that. And that's, down to the restaurants where they eat and that kind of thing. How do you keep track of your world building? Not as well as I should. I have notebooks and I have files. I've never... as the series gets longer, I'm going to be forced to be much more organized about it so I don't go back and contradict myself. Do you have some knowledge of hypnotherapy, or did you have to do research about it? Well, I did research about how you get licensed to do hypnotherapy in California. The answer being you don't. Anybody can be a hypnotherapist. I can go out there and claim to be a hypnotherapist and put up a sign and start being one. Most people do go to school. Mercy School is fictitious, but it's based on a real school. That said, I signed up for hypnotherapy sessions and went to a bunch of them and was never successfully hypnotized. Some people are crappy subjects. Apparently, I am one of them. This doesn't mean that a good enough hypnotist... Now, a hypnotist and a hypnotherapist are two different things. A hypnotherapist is a therapist. A hypnotist is an entertainer. And I've been attempted to be hypnotized by entertainers, and it failed. So I don't know. I'd love to be hypnotized because I'm told that it feels really good, particularly afterwards. You feel very relaxed. I'm just like, nope, no luck so far. What do you feel are the benefits of the new electronic readers such as Kindle or Sony Digital Reader to the environment, and what impact? Oh, I think they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. I know that some bookstore owners are mad at me for saying that because they want people to buy the books, and so do I. Don't get me wrong. I want people to buy. I love the tactile sensation of holding the book in my hand. I said I'm a book sniffer, but my books, the first two books in the series are out. I've been saying out of print, and I'm informed that that is the wrong term because that's kind of a thing that the publisher declares them out of print. They are out of stock, and they have not done a reprint, but people can get them on Kindle forever, and I really, really like that. And I'm running out of time so quickly. I'm going to skip a little bit ahead. I love the gang's nickname, the Balboa Scooby-Doo Gang. And how did you come up with that name? I don't remember. It may have been one of my critique partners. In the book, Sam kind of coins it because there's such an unlikely mix of people that have so little in common that end up all kind of forming a group to try to solve a problem. And I think that it may have been one of my critique partners who says, before you send the Scooby-Doo Gang off to do this, you need to give me a reason, and it just stuck. And I don't even remember which one of my, because I had a lot back in the beginning. And, I'm out of time for today. I'm sorry because I was having a great time answering these fun questions. And come back tomorrow, and I'll see you soon. Bye.